There's a celebration across the land, my friends. Looks like Martha Vandella said, we're dancing in the streets because the Wicked Witch is dead. The longtime reign of Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots has come to an end. There'll be a press conference coming up in about 4 hours from now, Eastern Time, 12 o'clock, at Foxborough, the Crafts. And, of course, Bill Belichick, 6 Super Bowl titles, 9 Super Bowl appearances, and second only to Don Shula when it comes to total wins on the sideline of an NFL game. So look, you can debate back and forth what you think about Bill Belichick today versus what his career is, but now it comes down to the destination, because if all the reports are right, he still wants to coach. I buy that. He's a coach. It's in his blood. And he feels probably like he's got some unfinished business and wants to one-up Tom Brady if he can. Makes total sense to me from a competitive standpoint. There are, 7 openings right now. But now that he's available, my gut is that there might be an 8th, a 9th, a 10th, et cetera, et cetera. So just top of your head, guys, I'll start with you there, Will. If you take the 7 jobs we know are available, you could pick any one of them, or you could find a situation based on maybe what happens in the next month in the playoffs that might make an owner say, wait a minute, we haven't really fulfilled our destiny based on the talent we have. Maybe it's time to consider something we wouldn't have considered if a guy like this wasn't available. Now, those are the current jobs that are available. Atlanta doesn't have a quarterback. Carolina's, take them off the table. They're barely even an NFL team. Seattle's got Geno Smith. The Commanders have a new owner, tons of money, but they don't have a quarterback either. Right. The Raiders doesn't seem like a fit for a lot of reasons, especially because Tom Brady owns a piece of them. The Chargers, of course, have Justin Herbert, and Tennessee thinks they may have found a quarterback in Will Levis. Or pick behind door number 2, which is a team that has not fired a coach yet, but in your opinions, might consider it because this guy's available.
Yeah, for me, it's probably the Atlanta Falcons, solely because right now, if I'm the Falcons, and who knows what happens in Chicago, Ryan Poles says, you know what, we don't like you, Justin Fields. Right. Thank you for your time. If I'm the Atlanta Falcons, you go get Justin Fields, you tell Bill Belichick to come on, and now your whole franchise flips upside down, and now you're going upward. So for me, the Falcons seem good. They have a scrappy, good defense. Talk about Kyle Pitts, Drake.
But you're basing that if they acquire a quarterback.
If they acquire Justin Fields.
Gotcha. How about you, Gregor?
Well, there's a team that already has Justin Fields, that has a really good defense, and I feel like Justin Fields can be that franchise face. You said you let Luke Getsy go, your offensive coordinator, and you kept Matt Eberflus. Maybe that was the wrong decision. Who knows? Bill Belichick is available now. Chicago Bears will be a great fit, in my opinion.
I'm going door number 2.
Go ahead.
I'm going straight to the Philadelphia Eagles. If this has been a disaster for the last 6 weeks, an absolute disaster. Do they lose to the Cardinals and Bill Belichick's the head coach? Do they lose to the Giants? They go down 24-0 at the half to the Giants and Bill Belichick the head coach? I'm going to say no. And one thing we say about Bill Belichick is I don't think he's going to go to a team like the Commanders that has the 3rd pick. Draft a rookie quarterback. I think he's going to go to a turnkey situation that's missing a head coach. And I think the Philadelphia Eagles are a Super Bowl contending team if he's the head coach. And with Nick Sirianni's complete implosion the last 6 weeks, that would be the number 1 place that I think he's the best fit.
Which is why I think door number 2 is the door. Whether it's the Eagles, if they lose to Tampa, all of a sudden Eagle fans are going to be clamoring.
Even if they lose to Dallas.
Possibly, yeah. He went to a Super Bowl last year, but the way this season ended and the way Nick Sirianni's kind of lost the locker room, I'm telling you, there are teams like Philly. I think Dallas would absolutely, if they lose to Green Bay, make a consideration. I think if San Francisco spits the bit, and you can start saying to yourselves, boy, Shanahan's a great coach. Don't say he's not. But, man, you guys haven't gotten over the hump yet. And you can blame the injury to Brock Purdy last year. Right. We all accept that. But there's no excuses this year. So I do think there's going to be, potentially, obviously, a mystery team that's not even on the radar right now, where you have to imagine for a second that you're the owner of the franchise. All right, you don't listen to the fan base. You know the old adage, if you listen to the fans, you'll be sitting next to them soon enough, right? So if I'm the owner, and I take stock of the fact that I do think I've got a quarterback, and I think I've got the talent, but, man, I'm missing that one piece. What's that piece? A guy that's done it.
Yep.
A guy that's done it better than anybody else has done it. I don't need him to make personnel decisions. I need him to coach the great talent I've got. No one's better than this guy doing that. So I do think Philadelphia, which we brought up a few weeks ago, makes a lot of sense. Again, no disrespect to Mike McCarthy. I do think if Dallas, somehow pulls a Dallas and gets eliminated early, I think it's got to be on the table. And then you start looking at, who are the owners, right? When you're talking about, especially in Dallas, an 80-something-year-old owner who is impetuous, who's dying to win. Money's not an issue, obviously. It shouldn't be for any of these owners. But you've got all the talent you could possibly want to make runs and to win. And the only team you're really chasing in the NFC, let's be fair about it right now, is San Francisco. Right? You bring in a proven winner like Bill Belichick with that kind of talent. If I'm Jerry Jones, and imagine specifically for this part of the conversation, would you be shocked if Dallas doesn't get to an NFC Championship game? If Jerry says, I'm 82 years old, I think Mike's done a great job in the regular season, but I have a rare opportunity to get the best. You don't think he at least makes that phone call?
Yeah, you also got to understand Jerry's been there before, right? You got to understand when he hired Bill Parcells, it was to add stability to that organization, right? And Bill,
correct.
We know the tuna as a big ego, the bully, yada, yada, yada. Well, Parcells was the guy that got him into the playoffs. Parcells was the guy that kind of put the Cowboy brand right where it needed to be because it was a shambles after that. So I can see it happening. But my concern isn't Jerry. It's where Bill is at mentally. What is he willing to allow? What is he not willing to allow? Because what we know from the optics is he's not a talker. He doesn't like outside distractions. He's all about football and nothing about football.
Yeah.
That's not the brand in Dallas. That's the only mix-up that scares me.
Except for this. In Dallas, the brand is Jerry does all the talking.
Correct.
Right.
So, and if you're bringing
But Kraft wasn't like that.
I know, but if you're bringing this guy in, we're using Dallas as a possibility. Obviously, it's not happening tomorrow, but it's on the table for sure. If you bring him in, everyone involved with the Cowboys, from the 2-year-old fan to the cheerleader to every executive, also recognizes he's different. Mm-hmm. You're not going to get him to do certain things that a younger coach might do from an interview standpoint, a radio show standpoint, TV, appearances, all that stuff. You're bringing a serious businessman to win football games. Because remember, we talk about it all the time. When's the last time the Dallas Cowboys were in a Super Bowl, right? I've got an 80-plus-year-old owner now. And again, if Dallas gets to the NFC Championship game, I think it's a moot point. I think Mike McCarthy comes back. If the Eagles suddenly turn it on and beat Tampa and maybe look good in a win or a loss in the divisional round, maybe Sirianni saves his job. But it's very rare to have this pedigree available. I'm just happy he's out of the AFC East and he ain't going to bother my New York Jets for a little while.
And just to pivot a little bit, what happens with Mike McCarthy? Because the reason why Dak's playing great right now and the reason why this offense is flying high is because of Mike McCarthy in this office. If you bring in Bill Belichick, he now has to find a guy that is not a regression of Dak's game in this offense who's going to progress and move forward.
Fair enough, but I think you get the band back together is what you do. You go back and get the guys that are part of the success you had. Good.
If there was one team that's in door number one, it would be the Chargers, clearly. Because
of Herbert.
Because of Justin.
Yeah, I think we all agree on that. I think I do think it's the Chargers of the current jobs that are available, and then it's potluck, pick the team that you think. Chicago's interesting. Obviously, they got the draft pick or Justin Fields. Obviously, Dallas, Philly. There are interesting situations where, as of right now in the moment, owners haven't said, we're thinking about it because the guy wasn't available, an hour ago. So it's going to be great.
Yesterday, Eberflus was like, oh, no, we're fine. Eberflus is coming back. Today, I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like,
I would just start packing my bags.
I know.
I
I just saw a picture of him doing that.
Yeah, taking stuff off the walls.
Like he's like, I got to put the plaque and the trophies back in. And, oh, my beautiful family.
Eberflus bought 20 boxes of U-Haul today.
Eberflus is 10-24 in his last 2 seasons. They went 7-10 this year. Yeah. And there's no way I feel comfortable right now. If I'm telling my wife, I'm like, listen, pack everything up. I'm out.
I want you to ponder a question going to a very quick break. Because I do believe sports needs villains. Whether 100%. It was Duke basketball back in the day or Notre Dame football, Alabama, of course. Nick Saban's out in Alabama. So the SEC's just lost a villain that we could all rally against if we're not, Alabama fans and we root for any other team, right? This guy's a villain. Outside of New England, he's the most hated guy in the NFL for a quarter of a century. So as I'm trying to figure out going to break, who's the new villain in the NFL? Don't give me an answer now. Mm-hmm. I want you to actually put some thought into it.
I don't
ask for much, just a little bit, a little taste.
That's a lot.
Who's the new villain? Hey there, thank you so much for watching The Carton Show. You can subscribe right here to get all the latest bits and segments from the show. And by the way, while you're at it, we have a lot of great shows on FS1, so check them out too.